Album review: Two Chainz, Boats 2, MeTime. 14 tracks is standard. The deluxe got 17. Before I get into it, the album got 12 features. He did 5 tracks alone out of 17. To me, that's not really good. Um, I love the skits in between the records. If you listen to the album, you know, it's little skits in between there. He got similar album packaging in a way, you know, so that's 50-50. Um, and the features was honestly he picked out of the box on the features, man. You know what I mean? He got Pharrell, he got Fergie, Rich Homie Quan, Lloyd, Mace, T-Pain, Chrisette Michelle, Sonny Patterson, Pusha T, and I Am Sue. You know what I mean? Um, for the track list, Fort 36, Fair Watching, featuring Pharrell, Where You Been, I Do It, featuring Drake and Lil Wayne, Used To, Netflix, featuring Fergie, Extra, featuring Rich Homie Quan, You the Realest, Beautiful Pain, featuring Lloyd and Mace, So We Can Live, featuring T-Pain, Mainstream Ratchet, Black Unicorn, featuring Chrisette Michelle, Sonny Patterson, Outroduction, and Deluxe Edition got Employee of the Month, Live and Learn, in quotations it will, featuring Dollar Boy and Pusha T, Living, feature I Am Sue. You know what I mean? Um, the album really is better than the first one. You know, kind of in a way. You know what I mean? I could definitely see a growth somewhat. You know what I mean? Far as the first track, Fork, it's not the best intro to an album in my opinion. You know, it was alright. 36. It should have been a skit. It wasn't even that fucking long, like a minute and some change. Then it goes into Feds Watching. In my opinion, it's my favorite song and kind of the best song on the album, man. Pharrell production is crazy. He should have had more production on this album. Where You Been? I didn't like the record at first, but it's a record that grew on me. Um, I Do It featuring Drake and Lil Wayne. It's a dope record. Wayne verse was sort of crazy. I like how Drake uh, basically threw the verse to Lil Wayne. That shit was incredible. Uh, Shout out to them niggas, man. That shit was crazy. Number 6, Used To. It was cool. Netflix featuring Fergie. After a while, the record did grow on me, you know what I mean? But it's still not one of the best tracks. Extra featuring Rich Homie Quan. It was alright. You the Realest. It was straight, you know what I mean? The little skit at the end, dedicated to his homeboy or whatever. It was cool. Beautiful Pain featuring Lloyd and Mace. Nigga brought back Mace. I'm not saying he brought back Mace, but just to have him on the album. Who I haven't heard Mace on the album in a minute. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean by that. So We Can Live featuring T Pain. Switched up the beat and killed it, man. The beat kind of switched up. Um, at the end, you know, once T Pain, you know, and 2 Chainz sort of finished that, it switched to a new beat. He definitely murdered that shit. Mainstream Ratchet, I wasn't feeling the beat. The song was cool in my opinion. Black Unicorn featuring Chrisette Michelle and Sonny Patterson. It was a dope record, and I think at the end it had his daughter on it, which was cool. Outroduction, a great way to end an album in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I bought the standard edition, of course. Employee of the Month, it was alright. It was cool for what it was. Live and Learn, featuring Dollar Boy and Push T, definitely a cool song. That should have been on the regular version. You know what I mean? Living feature I Am Sue. I wasn't really feeling that shit. So overall, man, out of all the tracks, 17 and all, I get this album about a 7 out of 10. You know what I mean? It just certain shit he tried to, you know, work with, and certain shit it worked, and certain shit it didn't work. You know what I mean? I also compared these tracks to the first album. You know what I mean? Because the first album had 17 records, and so basically, let me see if I got this shit right. Um, from 1 to 17, I said was the first record on this album better than the first record on the first album? No. Was 36 better than the second number 2 on the first album? No. Was Feds Watching better than number 3 on the first album? Yeah. So you get the point of where I'm going with this shit. You know what I mean? Number 4, was it better than the first album? No. Number 5, was this song better than number 5 on the first album? Yeah. Was used to better than used to? I mean, used to better than number 6 on the first album? Yeah. Was number 7 better than the first album? Number 7? No. Extra, was this number 8 better than the first album? Yeah. Number 9, was it better than the first album? Number 9? Nah. Beautiful Pain was better to me than number 10 on the album. Number 11 on this album was better than number 11 on the first one. Number 12 was better on the first album than this album. Number 13 was dope on this album than the other album. The introduction was better on this album than the last album. Number 15 track was better on the first album than this album. Number 16 was better than on the first album than this album. And number 17 was better on the first album than this album, man. So that just goes to show you, you know, what I rated or whatever. But it's still a growth, you know what I mean? Because he had a lot of songs on the first album that was kind of weird, like Birthday song, Dope Peddler was crazy. You know what I'm saying? So he just had a lot of weird joints on there. But overall, man, it was still a good album. I purchased this shit, of course. Y'all know how I do. I support. But y'all let me know what y'all thought of the album. Um, it's solid. I've been listening to it. Um, if I had to pick 5 songs that I play the most, of course, number 1 would be Feds Watching. Number 2 would be I Do It. Number 3 would have to be Beautiful Pain. Number 4 would be So We Can Live. And number 5 would have to be Black Unicorn, man. Those would be the 5 records that I listen to the most on the shit. Y'all let me know what y'all think about the album, and I'll holla at y'all, man. Alright, one.